Pastor Manyaka, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Radio.
How are you doing, sir?
I am blessed, man. The Lord is good. And how are you?
I am well. I'm very well.
Thank you.
You know, you are an artist, you are a pastor, you do all these beautiful things. Mara, there could be someone who are ring no man. Who is Promise Manyaka? Please tell us a little bit about yourself for a Promise Manyaka.
Yeah, Promise Manyaka ke le sogana la go tswa ka Tubatse ka Begasfort. Ke bele go tswa gona kua ka golela gona kua. I'm a born again gospel artist. I'm a pastor, a husband and a father. And I'm a leader, of course, and that's who I am.
Wow, that is amazing. And maybe before we get into the other things that we'll talk about and even the music, as young men and women, you may find or no man having that encounter with him. I mean, let me give an example with myself. You'll find that one of the things, I don't want in life is to become a pastor. How was that journey for you? Or to discover the colleague there?
Well, funny enough, I think 80% of the young people that I interact with, Manyaka Baba road.
Okay.
And I can tell you from a very young age, I've always dreamed and wanted to be a pastor, you know.
Wow.
It has been in my heart or starting and, you know, preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ, you know. From the early age, I think when I was doing grade 8, I was inspired by a young man. So there was this young man, Baraki Godfrey. He would stand more assembly every morning, and he was preaching. You know, I think he was the shortest in our class then. And that was inspiring for me. And you know, and I got to be close to him. And what made us to be close was, we were in the same class, and one of the subjects that we were doing is spade.
Okay.
Spade. So I mastered spade. So and being close to him just inspired me, and how this young man loved God, lived for God, and he was inspiring a lot of us, you know. Do you know that small Bible, Testament? Yeah, those yellow ones. And I just fell in love with that thing, man. And I wanted to do exactly what he was doing, you know. Then Kabwa, when I was doing my grade 9, then I started to preach the sermons that he was preaching. I preached for the first time. The second time when I preached, the principal was there. I said to them, "You are blessed." Then he stood. I am a mopela scholar. No, you are the one who is blessed. What grade are you in? I said to him, "I'm in grade 9," and he was like, grade 10.
Wow!
And that was it. So I moved from grade 9 to grade 10. Just by preaching, and that thing was a mark in my life.
Yes.
So it was not because I was a star or anything, but it was because I stood in front of Banaba School, my teacher, and I preached.
Wow.
And that for me was a lifetime testimony. This gospel works, you know.
Yes.
And I've learned to live throughout my whole life from that time until now. It's gospel or nothing.
Yeah.
It's something that has built, shaped me. If you take out this thing out of promise, Ausana promise.
Yes.
Today Shine Bright Radio in PDC for an interview because of gospel.
Yes.
You know, I feed my family because of gospel. Everything it's centered around that. So I think I'm sold out to this thing because from a very young age until so far.
Wow, that is amazing, you know.
Yes, sir.
I mean, other young people the gospel or they've got nothing more. They've got nothing else to do. What would you say to that person?
Look, the issue is perspective the gospel by perspective the gospel is for perfect people.
Okay.
Because then we want to be perfect people who are coming to this perfect God.
Yes.
Mudim does not want us to be perfect. He wants us to come to him as we are.
Yes.
Ka di flopo cha rena, ka di weaknesses cha rena, got the issues of life, John. And when we come to him, he shapes us, he builds us. And it doesn't happen overnight, you know. To be a young man does not mean you're 100% and without faults. Keeps shaping us as we go. He keeps building us. He keeps molding us the way Ananya can. So we don't come to God because we are perfect. We come to him because we are imperfect, and we are opening ourselves up to him because we want him to perfect us, you know. So young people, with our faults, with our weaknesses, with our youthful challenges, we can still serve God, you know. And unfortunately, the other issue get our society say around us, but by expect our murutu phela ka sutu ka thai o phela hore hallelujah. You know, I'm a young person. I'm enjoying my youthful days. I enjoy go apara di go to a park, chill, go with my jita, have a braai, and I still serve the Lord in that, you know. And I think that is the mentality we serve the Lord, really imperfect, because we are striving and rely to make us perfect.
Wow, that is amazing, because like some very, very important topics. These days, you've got a lot of people who are regovetse dikerekeng, go nga ba ntlokomela, go nga ba boletše ka nna gampe, others ba ntile ka gore le ka gore, therefore modimo wa lena ke sa monyaka, and all those other things.
Sure.
But I love what you are saying, Norman. Even as imperfect as we are, we still go to the very same God. And who, maybe, let's say, for example, the very same one who are in Korovechi. I love it. I get a concert, promisa opela. Maratabe ba la kamano le modimo. You got to get a lot of study on a what would you say to that person? Sure.
Okay, the first question go over the Jekemang.
Okay.
Over the Jekemang, Ukichimang Kereke.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you what. As long as we are more than two,
yes.
But because your brother or do you decide to disown the family?
No,
you don't.
You
understand working one issue a quarter for 2-3 days or whatever time, but you still come back. You know what? Maybe maybe we are sharp and you mend up things. And that's what happens, man.
Yes.
You find a way and that's what happens.
Yes.
From Murud to the least on the list.
Yes.
And the only difference
oh yeah.
So if okadumela bolwetsi ba motho mongwe to affect your relationship with God, then you have a problem. Because this is kilifasi more. But what are you here for?
Yeah.
Are you here for God? Are you here for people? What are you here for? And besides, yeah. If bawa in church A, you can go to church B, but I can guarantee you, church B, so you cannot always move from one church to another. We're now whole and be grounded. Because you need to be in a space where you are grounded, and obviously in all these churches for sure you do, you know, but understanding for Christ, not for people, but they are part of us, but we are not here for them.
Yeah, and maybe another thing it always happens, especially for whenever it would be worse, because Umurudi, you're a gospel artist. You may find out people are scrutinizing you and your life so deeply. One mistake, just one mistake. How do you deal with that pressure there?
I had an incident last year. So I was invited in Rustenburg to Dukenjin events. So ki event and funny enough, we were two gospel artists. So got to the event, went on stage, performed reggae I took a cup, a transparent cup, Red Bull leaded the ice.
Ice,
come
okay.
on.
Okay.
And someone, they take random photos, but share that photo by post on Facebook
Okay.
on their page.
Okay.
Someone took that photo, a sekela glass
Okay.
a sekela glass, and there was a lot of noise around that thing.
Wow.
And the reason why that thing happened, I was talking a lot about gospel musicians, Baba Nwambiala. And,
okay.
And I had my perspective. I have my perspective around that. People have different perspectives around that. I have my own opinion on it.
Yes.
Based on my understanding. So someone took that and circled, and they did not even say anything.
Okay.
The comments there. It was and I didn't respond to that. I didn't want to respond to that because kids will man.
Yeah.
After 2 weeks, this thing
it's my favorite. Okay.
Can't respond like it
Oh yes.
And people say what they want to say. Baba ngababulela dineti, baba mbabulela ka mokgwa ba bonang ka gona.
Okay.
And there's always a truth in everything. You know the truth.
The truth, yes.
The Lord knows the truth. You can't go responding to everything, interacting on everything negative that speaks ka wena.
Okay.
Let me draw a lesson from it.
Yes.
So social media and what people say on social media, you look at it, you learn. Some you have to find a way you want to close out of yourself.
Okay.
When and I decide, I'm gonna uninstall my Facebook for the next 3 days.
Okay.
So that I know.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and there's people that I literally tell, I'm like, please don't tell me about it. I know. So for my space to be protected, don't tell me about it. Just social media. Social media.
You'll deal with it.
Yeah, I will respond if you come to me.
Okay.
In my space. And if I have to respond. If I don't have to respond, Mama bolo focus abodi lo nchaka. Yeah.
And another challenge we are seeing these days, the music industry, ne?
Sure.
And one of the challenges is the fact that how then do you monetize it? As a young person, I want to be a gospel artist. But at home, my mother, my father, they are discouraging me because they think I won't be able to earn a living with it. There are these stories you hear about Mama 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you were thinking about coming into gospel, besides that example that you gave, you were inspired by a man preaching, you wanted to also preach, but venturing that and doing both. How do you do the two?
Sure. You're asking a good question, but I'm not sure if I'll give the best answer that people want to hear.
Okay.
So I am of this perspective. Me doing gospel is ministry.
Ooh, okay.
That's my perspective of this thing. So if you call me to preach and you call me to sing, my response will depend on the type of an event that is there.
Okay.
There's places that I literally tell them, look, I'll bring myself there. There's places where I go and I tell them, invoice. So
okay.
It depends on the nature of event. But the bottom line is, for me, this is ministry. When I'm invited, I see it and it's an opportunity. Wow. But in the perspective of seeing this as industry, is that one needs to understand the business side of music. How does it operate? How does it work? How can you monetize and package yourself as a business person? Okay. There is money. There is money in doing gospel besides ministry. So the ministry is another space, but the business side of it, it's another space. So how do you package yourself and brand yourself as and become economical in what you're doing? So you look at the trend that is happening now. How do you monetize on TikTok, on social medias? How do you take your music to online platforms and brand yourself to be invited to events, concerts, and all of those type of setups? It's an open space. I think it depends on how one wants to brand themselves. But there is money in doing gospel music, and I'm encouraging people to do the same. It's unfortunate because your first market is the church.
Okay.
And when I tswa mo Limpopo di kereke tsa rena mo gae ka mokana ga tsona eno ba morwa ke and eventually if you go to a church you realize that mara, why did I even charge these people 15,000? Because the money that I've charged them, it's a lot. When you get to see the environment and the church, you're like, ish. But 15,000, I'm sure the chances are you're putting in the church and all that. And you know, a friend of mine was invited to a church in Rustenburg. Okay, maybe let me Sfako.
Okay.
And when he got to that church and he realized, no. And he said to the pastor, you know what, Murut, please send me your account. I'm going to send you back the money.
Come on.
And he did that because these people love me. And I mean, did they really pay that money? Because the environment, they paid because they love you.
They love you.
And yeah, so it depends from individual to individual. But there is money.
Wow. You are venturing into an area Laura, I like very much because I'm currently working on a book titled Kingdom Worship. And in that book, I talk about there's a difference between being an entertainer, doing gospel music, and being a minister. Those two fields are not the same.
They are not.
You are an entertainer, but you don't minister with your music.
Sure.
And then they are not an entertainer, but they are a minister.
Sure.
A minister of the music. Well, how do you balance the two?
Because so first is you need to set certain boundaries. It's just difficult to do this thing because you want to be a minister, but at the same time,
Yes.
And I wish our people could understand, or in as much as I am called by God and I'm serving the Lord, there is also they don't see me as a minister.
Yes.
They don't see me as a pastor. They see a father.
Yes.
In as much as I'm ministering, Manyaka Brazilian Brazilian, and it comes from this ministry, same ministry that I am doing. So it's difficult.
Yeah.
But I believe one thing is be led by the Spirit of the Lord.
Oh, yes.
Secondly is be principled, have your own principles. I write songs for people. I know that if I'm writing a song for you, by the Spirit of the Lord, yes, Marampate.
Yes.
Marampate, because I've put skill in that. I took time.
Yes.
And I got the song you know, and it's also different. It's different. I know for sure this is both ministry, but technically this is a company. This is government entity. You know, if I'm going in that space, this is so Inyaga, that wisdom. I don't know how to explain it better than this.
No, you did because I mean maybe one last one before we get to the music. Another thing, there's a debate about this issue, gospel artists, if they are serving in their local church or wherever. Some are saying, no, they shouldn't get paid. Some are saying, well, then when do you worship and when do you serve God? If me as your pastor, I even took you to music school and those other things, when you come back, they were the ones they pushed you or they helped you. What do you say and what is your contribution to that conversation?
So now I went to Bible school, and the church was sponsoring my tuition fees.
Okay.
The last day of my Bible school was a member of the church paying for the fees check.
Okay.
So I come back, pastor a church, then the church pays me as their pastor.
Oh, okay.
Now, here's a young person, remurutile keyboard, a keyboard and his skill is perfect. Why do we then have a problem of paying the young man or remurutilenga keyboard?
Yes.
But don't have a problem of paying a pastor or school.
Yes.
That is perspective number one.
Okay.
But now, the second thing is, if you are let's say again, I promise Manyaka. The Lord has blessed me, and I've got other things that I'm running, and I'm able to come to the church. Or no, you know what? Because there's some things that I'm doing outside of the church, sustain, and the church does not pay me. I cannot stand and say other people in the church.
Oh yeah.
Because as Murut, I'm not being paid. And the reason why I'm not being paid is because there's other things check it.
Yes.
So there's nothing idira. The only thing idira depend on doing music.
Okay.
We have to pay the
person
according to our capacity.
Okay.
We have to pay the person according to our capacity. But even that person must know this is their home church, because you need to have that home church. When we are paying you, you don't become an employee of the church, but we are honoring you for your contribution.
Yes.
So because they've got other sources of income.
Yes.
But if Ramona or Moto are a source of income, can we as a church, according to our capacity, remove patel? But now the problem comes this one. The usher, is also working.
Yes.
She's also working. So are we as a church able to pay every person? And sometimes we are not able to pay all of them, or we are not even able to pay any of our members. So it's a matter of, are we communicating it well? Do our people understand it? I wanna standards the kibonist to swaniji
patel. Yes.
It depends on, are we as a church having capacity? So if we have that capacity, then are mo patele.
Okay.
Keyboard.
Yeah. Wow. That is amazing. Yeah. Now let's get to the music, because talk to us about the music that we are going to play. You sent me a song, Mudimu ya Pela.
Yeah.
Talk to me about this song. What does it mean to you, and how did you write this song?
So this song, the story of the song was okay. So during my period, I was studying theology.
Okay.
The second year,
okay.
I went home for, I think it was 2 years, somewhere there. And that period, I think that is actually a period where the music ministry got established.
Okay, wow.
Because there was nothing so the only thing was play keyboard and all that. So this is a song that came. I remember walking home, just in my own discouragement, man, and I felt, and this melody just came in.
Okay.
Hallelujah. That part. So I took out my phone and I recorded it.
Okay.
Then the following day I went back to the church and I was on the keyboard. I was playing. Then I tried to arrange and, do the part. So I introduced the song to my then band.
Okay.
And then they gave me the part. Ona Lima. It was not there.
Okay.
And then when we went to do the recording of the song, I was working with another band, and then they introduced the last part of the song, So it was the first part given to me by God. The second part, the band brought it together. The last part, when we were doing the recording, then the band that I was working with, then they brought in the last part. But the message of the song is to say, Mudimarna wa pela, Mudimarna una le matla wa re hlokomela, built on the scripture sela sa gore ba rile ba tsoga in the next morning. They went kwa lebitleng la morena Jesu, ge ba fitla ba khotsa morongwa ora bona ore you are planning le monyakelang go ba ba hwileng ana ga se a le botsena gore ka tšatši la boraro o tlo tsoga fela o tsogile, and that is the power of the gospel. Wa rena modimo wa phela na le matla wa re hlokomela. That's the song.
Wow, that is amazing. That is, or maybe one last one, before the other. Because this one is very important, Kaori. You find a lot of young people over I made a mistake. I made a mistake. Maybe I got sister so pregnant. I made a mistake. This and that happened. Bang khaoji. Velo ke chaba wela greki.
Sure.
Batho bo reng ka nna, bo reng ka batswadi ba ka, goba ke goletse ka Sunday school and those other things. Now go dia such thing. How did you feel at that moment, and what would you say to those people about they are feeling that way?
Sure. Funny enough, man, na ebile be ke sa imisha ngwana motho.
Okay.
So what happened is, as a young brother, when you are on fire for the Lord.
Yes.
Then ka kopana le sister and we were together. Ka phaya roko and I felt guilt,
Okay.
that guilt ya gore ke senyeditse modimo. Now I spoke to a pastor, trying to just polela.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the pastor took it to the church board, and
Okay.
it went out of proportion, and they had to bang khaole.
Okay.
But it was not a case our mutuimi. It was just a case our
The act happened.
Yeah, the act happened, and I felt it, and I spoke to the pastor. And it was bad, man, because I was the youngest pastor who was at college, so they had to send to the kereke tša rena in South Africa.
Okay. Wow.
Ba di romela ka moka gore tsebang gore
Yeah.
moshimanyana o la re mokgaotši.
Yo.
No, bro, the shame, man, the embarrassment, the kama ka itshola gore ke bolela
Yes.
No, yeah, so but I'm saying there's always hope.
Yeah.
I stayed in the church, bro, throughout the
entire
period ya ka ya go gaudiwa. I stayed, went back to college, ka bushiwa, and I was ordained as a pastor. After my ordination, I stayed for 2 years in the church, and things were no longer the same, And after 2 years, then I decided, you know what, and go to a different place.
Okay.
I didn't want to leave during that period. Because
yes.
I knew the interpretation would be
Wacha.
So I had to wait for the process, serve my course. Just stay for 2 years. I was given a church, pastored in that church. We started another church. We stayed in that church for a year. When the church had about like 60 members, then we said, elsewhere.
Yes.
Yeah, no, the environment was different. Reserve but they would always say,
Yes.
And yeah, so we felt we have to just go and serve the Lord elsewhere.
Yes.
But that was not a death sentence. Mudimu does not write us off.
Yeah, he doesn't.
The church takes time because of principles. But immediately when you come to God, at that point,
Yeah.
Ivan?
Yes.
It doesn't take 5 years. It doesn't take 3 weeks. At that point, unfortunately, the system of the church is the system of the church.
Yes.
And we are members of the church. We have to go through that system of the church. Mara mudimu yena. Mona wa re lebalela today ka 6. Ka 8 go ka flop o tono go lebalela as long as o mogopela tshwarelo o imina go tswa pelong. He forgives us. Are valele melato ya rena. Yeah, so if you've done it, please come back to God. He is faithful, he's just, he's a merciful God. He's going to forgive you. I know for sure. Yeah. And you will feel it in your heart.
Yeah, you know Baba.
No, man, he's a faithful God.
Yeah.
Trust me. He keeps no record of wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, and Mona, this is the power of the gospel, man. Or Manyaka, always fapano. Ba crucify ka or molai.
Yes.
And remember me.
Yes.
In paradise, and he says to you, surely by the end of this day you will be with me.
Yeah.
No. Manyaka banal record. This one is a prostitute.
Yeah.
Mudimare, show me who of you is without fault. Because
yes,
when you come to him, he does forgive you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's true. Yeah. Karna go like about we are having fun. We are having fun. What would be your final words? Young person maybe discouraged or whoever. What word of encouragement would you give that person?
Yeah. So here's a word, man. I read this word today, and this word encouraged me.
Okay.
A living dog is better than a dead lion.
Ooh. Yeah.
A living dog is better than you may think you are just a dog. You are not powerful. You have no talent. You have no gift. You have no hope. Mara as long as you sapela, spedis rituane sa goeng eleta monono. There is hope for you.
Yeah.
The only thing is that ge ka dula in your discouragement. Wa emela batho ba re agashe, you are going to die in that discouragement.
Yeah.
But if you decide, or you know what, I think why mudiman tumela or ke bone letšatši la lekgono.
Yeah.
Surely there's still hope.
Yes.
If o ke be go fedile ka wena, o ke be modimo a tswaletše the chapter ya gago ya bophelo, and you would be dead by now. But if you're still alive, then there's something hopeful in your life. So
Yes.
discover that. Tsora, we tint. There's hope, man.
Yeah.
You know, I met a lot of people this year who have been saying, "Yo, the economy." I've experienced that myself. You know? I was saying to people last year, I had a project that I was running, big flyer every week, literally. Cape Town, Durban, Mpumalanga. That I was doing those projects, and this year it was shut. You know, do I close myself up, Kala, or do I find something to do?
Oh yes.
It might not be that big bag, but what God brings to me at this moment, I need to make sure to sustain myself, because I've got hope.
Yes.
So Tsora, my sister, find courage, find hope. There's still more, man.
Yeah.
No. There's still more.
There's still more.
There's still hope.
Yes. And when can our listeners, where can they find you? Where can they find your music?
Yeah, so my music is on all digital platforms. We released a single in 2019, Jesolina Lagao. We released a single this year in January, Mudimuya Pelang. Last year, I was featured on a project, Yahweh and Song with Pastor Kefa Simono. But if you go to all digital platforms, Waseja Promise Manyaka, all the music is there. And you can stream the music, you can share the music, you can like the music. Our YouTube page, you Promise Manyaka. On all social media says Promise Manyaka, and on Instagram is Promise_Manyaka, and that's where they will find us. And man, we are excited because the 26th December we are hosting towards the Gospel Festival, the second annual. We did the first one last year and it was great, and we are going to another level this year. We talking production, we talking the lineup. It's just amazing. So we are inviting Batele Jiba, Shine Bright Radio to come and join us. 26th December, Twambe Sports Ground, Kwa Begasford,
Wow, no, thank you so much for coming and sharing with us about your journey, sharing with us about your music. And you know, as I always say, I pray and I hope that and then check out in your life, in your family, in the ministry.
Yes, sir.
No, thank you very much.
May the Lord bless you.